name's Stacey McConnell. I'm a physical therapist at St. Elizabeth Sports Medicine, and you are on the run. Today on the run, we have Lindsay House with us. Lindsay is a registered dietitian with St. Elizabeth Physicians Weight Loss Management Centers. And did I get that right?
You did.
Good. And we're talking to runners about fuel.
Yes.
100 different ways to say what fuel is, food. We want to talk specifically on this video about what it is that we can all clean up as distance runners now that we're well into spring training, we're doing some higher miles, we may even be tapering for a spring run here. Mm-hmm. One of the big things that you hear out there, everyone talks carbohydrates, that you need to take more carbohydrates. What are some of your thoughts? Maybe we can just start the conversation there.
Yeah, and I was going to backtrack a little just because you mentioned just starting the training that a lot of individuals make the, I would say, mistake of not really focusing on their food or nutrition until the actual day of the event. And what's really important is to do it while you're training the whole time so that your body's very used to that eating style and your system's used to it.
And can I just say that I am not, this talk is really for me more than anybody else because I really need to clean it up.
Right, don't start the week before.
Not the week before.
Okay,
Got it. I'm writing all this down.
Yeah, so with that, let's go back to the carb question.
Okay, good.
Whenever you read a marathon book or training book, you always see this term muscle glycogen.
Right.
And what that is, it's the storage form of carbohydrate. And I'm telling you this because if you see muscle glycogen, I think it's confusing.
Right.
But what's important is that our bodies are fueled and stored with enough carbohydrate that we have the energy for the event. Okay, and so with telling you that, people will go, great, I need enough carbohydrate. How many grams do I need in a day? And so how that's broken down is, let's pretend you and I were on a 2,000 calorie diet.
Okay.
We'd want to between 55-70% of that diet to come from carbohydrate, which that's a pretty big mind flip-flop for a lot of people, especially if you've ever been trying to lose weight before.
Right.
You want low carbohydrate, so that's scary for a lot of people.
And we're going to assume that this running talk isn't about weight loss. It's
right.
really about fuel.
Fuel and making max performance.
So are you saying runners need to be 50 to 75% carbos?
55-70% carbs, yep. And then only about 10-15% protein and 20 to 30% fat.
Okay, now that protein's for healing, for muscle repair.
For preserving muscle too. We want to make sure that we're keeping the good stuff. You're keeping your muscle mass.
And you're not burning muscle for older runners like myself,
right, no, and that's why you preserve it with all that carbohydrate so that you're really burning through your carb.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And you mentioned fats. Now fats, sometimes a bad word. Are there some bad fats, some good fats?
Absolutely. Yes. Well, and I feel that runners make this mistake. They're training hard, right? So they should be able to go eat the pizza and eat the fast food and all those types of items.
What are you trying to say?
Not that it's bad. Just that good fats. Like you were saying, we want to pull them more from healthy nuts or peanut butter. You want to go more towards your monounsaturated fats, olive oils to cook with, even lean meats are great, but we're trying to balance your plate or balance your meal between a nice amount of protein, healthy fat, and carb. Whole grains with your carb, making sure carbs aren't coming from your pizza crust, they're coming from nice whole grain bread, pasta. So
now people talk a lot about fruits and vegetables. Getting your vegetables is a really good source of other things like vitamins in your vegetables.
Yes.
How much of that do you need in there too?
Well, you definitely need quite a bit. They actually recommend like 3+ servings of fruit and the same thing for vegetables. Here's the deal though, that can be a GI irritant, meaning it can upset your stomach. So if you're not doing that the whole way through your training, then you can have issues, bathroom issues, while you're the day of the race. So the last thing you want to do is throw that all in the week of the race.
So start doing it now.
Yeah, so if we were to summarize what somebody should be taking away from today, I feel like good, healthy eating habits with a focus on carbohydrate. And I would encourage everyone to kind of understand what your basal metabolic needs are. What does that mean? How many calories do you burn in a day? And there are great online calculators for that. So the easiest way to tell you is Google a basal metabolic calculator. And that way you'd know, hey, I need 2,800 calories to supply my body for this intense endurance training that I'm doing.
Good.
And so I think if we don't have that number, it's hard to work off of anything else. So start there and then take the numbers that we mentioned as far as X amount of carbs, protein, and fat.
Okay.
And then that's a really good start. And then a lot of our clients end up tracking, like on MyFitnessPal.
Right.
You don't have to use those as a weight loss tracker. You can just use them as you can see where all your nutrition's coming from.
It's good.
So
we're ending kind of on something that I say in a lot of the videos. Hey, make sure this works for you. You know what fuel works for you. You know what fuel doesn't work. You know where you're good and where you're bad. And just really clean that up.
Yes.
For some of these folks, for some of you folks, you only have a few weeks to go. So invest in good fuel, good choices, good nutrition. So,
absolutely. And if I can add one last thing
absolutely, you can.
Involve your physician in your training. Get those labs done. See where you are lacking. If you do need any sort of supplementation or if you're over supplementing. If you involve your physician, I feel 100% more positive, and I'm sure you do as well.
Good. And involve Lindsay, because she is a registered dietitian.
Yes,
so I want to thank Lindsay for coming out today and helping us. Hopefully this video will help you, the distance runner, really clean it up. And since you're already putting in those miles and really dedicated to a great event, your nutritional component will not hurt you, not work against you, but will really help you out. So thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks for having me.